I get shit done, I have fun, it's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking through.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Business Renovator. Today, selling, it's not about you. I have a wonderful guest on here and friend who is a road warrior seller, specializes in a different kind of product and service than me. But you know what? If you're a professional seller, it doesn't matter what you sell because we show up to serve because you know what? It's not about you. So thanks for being here. If you're watching us live, terrific. If you're watching us on the replay, hashtag replay, let us know. If you have a question, a comment, some feedback, please send it our way. That's how we get better. Share this out with your social media community. That would be grateful from my point of view and my guest's point of view and whoever else is watching this. And if you know of somebody that would be a great guest to be on the show, similar to my good friend Randy, let me know, make an introduction. But in the meantime, I have to do, Randy, I said I have to do, I don't have to do anything, right? I want to do a shameless plug about what I do. Want to find out what your business growth score is? Hey, you can do it for free. No credit card required. Just go to that web address, coachphil.ca, and in the top corner, click on that link and answer the questions. You'll get the response emailed to you. If you find that you're good and you don't need a conversation with a business coach, you're good. You're on your way. Fantastic. And if you want to have a conversation, find out what the heck it means, or is there some area that you would like to look at possibly sorting out, by all means, reach out. It's a complimentary, no strings attached, no credit card required. We get together for about 20 minutes and answer your questions. If I can't answer it, I'm part of a great network around the globe. So that's my shameless plug for what I do. In the meantime, I want to read something about this fella who's going to help me talk about selling. It's not about you. He's actually a manufacturer's rep agency for over 4 decades. I know I count in decades now too. It seems so much better than years. And he's the owner and CEO of a company called Source One Marketing. Metal roofing, metal and post-frame building component industry is his specialty, his passion. Well, I think his passion is relationships and making connections. He also is his host of his own podcast called Building Wins Live that he does on a regular basis. I believe in building the personal brand. I was building the Randy Inc. brand well before I realized that was actually a thing. I'm a relationship builder. I learned the value of building relationships at a very young age. At 8 years old and beyond that from his dad. He became a salesman, he started his own business, rep agency. The idea of bringing value first was natural for him. See, that's why he's on the show. He's an expert in this. COVID threw up some things at us and caused us to lock down, and it allowed him the ability to bring more to the forefront of his modus operandi. On March 17th, 2020 was the date the transformation began for him. With some time, he developed what he coined himself as Randy 2.5 hybrid amazing. And as you will learn, I think you will find it's not just a braggadocious statement. He's pretty amazing. This is a coupling of the old normal, hard driving, hard road warrior mentality with a new normal use of all things virtual. And you know what? He still continues to pound the pavement, leather to the sidewalk, and he also does a lot of things virtual. That's how we actually met. So let me just bring him on up As soon as I get this out of the way, push the right buttons, and here comes my good friend and road warrior, Randy Chaffee. Hey, Randy.
Hey, Coach, how you doing, Phil?
I'm wonderful. Hey, let me show you something.
Yeah.
Kellen's here. Look at this. I'm wonderful.
Oh, look at that. You are wonderful. Hi, Kellen. How are you? She says two of her faves. I think you're number one, though.
Well, 1A, 1B, I think one of them. We're both there. Well, you must be 1A because you have cool socks.
I do have cool socks. You know, it's easy to have cool socks, Phil, because I literally have 0 plain color socks. Because why live life plainly, right? And so I've determined that I don't care if I'm in a suit. I don't care if I'm in jeans. If you pull my pant leg up, it's going to be some kind of hashtag cool socks.
Well, and you've been
yeah, I got that. I followed that strangely.
You've received gifts from different people that were our socks.
I
And
have.
there's a guy down yonder in Australia, and off the top of my head, I hope he's not watching because I forgot his name at the moment, but he's got a whole thing on socks. So we're looking to get him on the show to talk about the smiles that socks bring to the world.
It's funny, and I know it's a conversational thing because, as you said, I've had friends and people actually send me socks. I did a thing at a trade show once where guess which sock I have on today, and you can get a free copy of a book that I'm writing. Things like that is fun to create an event, right? Which is part of it in sales. We want to create an event, right? We're part entertainer, or we should be if we want to be liked and loved and so forth. But it started that I was sitting in front of a trade show in the Opryland complex in Nashville, this little brick area. Had my working on my iPad, and I had my leg crossed, and this girl walks by, she looks over, and she stops with her husband, says, "You've got Superman socks on." And I looked down, and yeah, I did. And it just created this whole 20-minute conversation, which was just fun, I guess, more than anything.
Yeah, I like what you're saying about having fun. If we're not having fun, why the hell do it? I just brought up the copy that we used to promote the show, and I've got it. Hey, come and join Randy and I to talk about be the change you want to be in your business and celebrating a new way of playing, interacting, and inspiring each other. So you do socks, you use humor, you use levity, you show up with authenticity. You're a bit of a bright light beacon that people look forward to hanging out with, right?
Well, I thought he was going to go with weird or strange, but I'll take that. Bright light beacon sounds way better. But no, I figured out a long time ago, Phil, that when I was young in sales, and I think all guys young in sales, you have this idea of what being a quote sales guy is, sales girl, a salesperson is, right? And I figured out early on that all the general idea of what a salesperson is not what you ought to be. You don't need to be blue suede shoe. You don't need to be fast talking. You don't need to be shoving stuff around down people's throat. You don't need to be thinking as your title of the show today. It's all about you, or me in this case, right? I just figured out that what I can pull off the best, and I don't say pull off as a negative, but what I can pull off the best is y'all just get what you get. And you get me. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be truthful. I'm going to tell you I can't. I'll tell you I can. I'll tell you I don't know, whatever the case is. But the one thing you will get is you're going to get the best possible service you can get. And that's all I got. And I sell Randy first. And it's, got to be on your A game if you're going to do that, I guess.
Well, I think so. And I think if you're doing that, you kind of automatically migrate to your A game, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard. You're not trying to be somebody you're not, something you're not, right?
Well, exactly. And a phrase, I didn't make this one up, but I'll claim it if nobody does. But I use it all the time, is love what you do and do what you love. And which is why I'll never stop doing this. Because if you love what you do and you do what you love, it's not work anymore. And so it's not hard to do the stuff that you ought to be doing. And it's not even hard to do the negative things that come up, because let's face it, we all get some negative stuff. I dealt with 2 this morning already where you have that momentary, your fist swells up and you want to punch a wall, right? Because something screwed up a customer, which I hate more than anything.
Right.
So I virtually slugged the wall. I might virtually say a word or 2 naughty, and then I go fix it. Because the thing that I try to remind myself, and I wasn't always good at this either, is 20 minutes of suck doesn't become, you can't allow it to become 20 hours or 20 days or 20 years. It's literally 20 minutes of suck, get rid of it and move on, right?
Totally agree. I was just looking for something here in my stream of it's not, hey, here it is right here. Be a victor, prove. So that stands for proactive, responsible. You own it, you have a vision, and you strive for excellence. Whereas when you show up like that, your energy is different. Not to say we don't go to the other side over here where it's talking about victim bends, blame, excuses, negative, denies, lives in a place called scarcity. It's not anywhere I want to live.
No.
We go there a little bit, right? We're human.
Right.
Just like you said, okay, I slam the virtual wall, or I curse under the breath, or whatever it is you do. You get beyond it. Okay, so now we've got that out. What do we do? How do we fix this?
Right.
I didn't cause it, but how do we fix it?
Right, because you still got to fix it, regardless of whose fault it is. And fixing blame does no good for anybody, right? I mean, it doesn't really matter who screwed this up. We just got to fix it. And you fix it, and you move on, and you do it with. And sometimes, and not all the time, because everybody doesn't find everything as humorous as I may at times, but I've been known to say, hey, I know, surprising. I've been known to do something like, so, hey, Phil, I know we didn't put that pallet on your truck that we promised, but the good news is this. Look at all the other people in America that got their stuff right. Thank you for taking one for the team. And they laugh. They say, okay, I got it. But, no, you got to watch where you do that, because there's certain people that maybe don't have the same sense of humor, but but sense of humor is I think an important part of the sales world too.
Well, I agree, and so I have an associate of mine who does stand-up comedy as a hobby, and every time he says he's going to do it, I go, I couldn't do that, but I love improv, and what I like about improv is that it's looking forward with possibility, and it's situational humor. It's relevant to the moment. You don't have a script you're tracking and following, and with a punchline. Because if you ask me to tell a joke, if I haven't rehearsed it over and over and over, I'll forget the punchline quite often.
Oh, exactly. I don't tell jokes hardly, because if I was going to tell a joke, I almost think I'd have to have it on my iPhone so I could just read it. Right, because I will somewhere or another I'll forget the punchline, and then that becomes almost funny, because they're standing there waiting, and you're going, they said you forgot, didn't you? I said, yeah, I did actually.
Yeah, I need my echo.
Exactly.
Alexa, what's the punchline?
Oh, exactly. Whoops! Now we're gonna get a joke. There it is. This is great. Oh, I'm luckily locked in my office here. If I said like Alexa, she would like.
Alexa, stop.
That's good stuff.
She was doing, what's the punchline? She was defining what a punchline is.
Actually, oh my, that's good stuff.
So selling, it's not about you. So what is it about then, right?
And this is massively simple, this first statement I'm going to make, but it is about the customer. It really has to be, because hey, good morning, Alan. They don't have to buy from me. Every product that I have, while I can give you the dog and pony all day long as good as anybody in the country, and I do believe in my stuff, right? You have to. If you don't believe in what you sell, you can't sell it.
Exactly.
And you can't do it from a point of being ethnicity. Whoa, that's not the word either, but wow.
I liked it. It's a Randyism.
It just sounded as a Randyism. But I can give you the dog and pony all day, but here's the one thing that I can give you way better than anybody else of the 8.4 billion people in the world is I can give you me, right? And what I can bring to the table. And I'm just going to bring you honesty and fairness and the right deal, but it has to be about what you want, Phil, because you, at the end of the day, as the buyer, whether we're friends or not, and whether you like me or not, you don't really care what I want. You care what you want, what you need. And I feel like I need to earn that trust, earn that ability to use the air quotes, sell you something, but to use a little bit of a Zieglerism to help you get what you want or need, right? But it is about the customer. And I watched a video this morning from a guy That's a big sales trainer, Chuck Toki. And Chuck did a video this morning talking about how many times he goes out with sales guys. And the first thing they walk in, he's there in in-home sales. The first thing they walk into, and like he's doing this with he's going, they talk, all about themselves, all about themselves, all about themselves. How about let's talk about the customer, talk about you. What do you need? Because the more you talk or the less you talk, the more you listen, right? They literally will tell you what I want to buy and what you need to do to sell me if you just listen to them.
Listen?
I know, it's a big thing.
What, did I do it right?
Mhm.
No, I was typing. Oh, look, I have some typos there. I just did this on the fly. I actually have a card that it's part of my makeup. That's one side. But on the other side is no one cares about you until they know how much you care about them.
Perfect.
I think
Right
it
on.
was an American president that came up with that, but I stole it. I mean, leveraged it.
You leveraged it.
That's what I think. To me, I think I put it in the chat in one of the social media platforms I'm on. I said, make sure you tune in and I'll give you the answer to what I think is the thread through showing up. And it's not about us. It's about them, just like you're talking about. And it's this. No one cares about you until they know how much you care about them.
Absolutely.
And if you're tell, which is the amateur seller, those are the kind of people that give the sales profession a bad name. If you're like a Randy and you go in there and you ask questions to be like, I would explain to me, like, be like a tourist looking for directions. Mm-hmm. Even if you know the answer to the problem that they might have, you don't know if they got that problem or not. So you got to be a tourist. Exactly. And ask questions, and the answers to the questions helps guide you to where they are. Brian Tracy says, be a doctor of selling. Proper diagnostic processes eliminates malpractice suits because you've properly understood what their pain points are, what their opportunities are, what they want to grow into, whatever it is they're trying to do. And then if you've got a solution, like you said earlier in the show, I'm the kind of guy that I'll tell them if I don't have a solution, if I got a solution, I'll offer them up. And if they can help them get it, great, I'll do that. No pressure. You're a professional solution provider, problem solver. That's how I see you. That's how I think our headline, selling, it's not about you. It really is about them.
Well, it has to be. And if we get past the, there's good English. I have to make this sale, right? You got to get beyond that because you sell the best, I think, when you don't need the sale. You'd like the sale.
Man, that's so high intention, low attachment is my motto.
Exactly. I would love the sale because my rep agency is all commission based. So yeah, I would like the sale, but I don't need the sale. I don't have to have the sale. You're never going to get every sale anyway. So if this is one that doesn't work, it doesn't work. But because if I come into it with, I need to sell you, Phil, what I want to sell you, that's never going to work. I need to help you get what you need if it fits you. Yeah. And you have to be prepared as a salesperson to go, you know what, like you said earlier, I'm not sure this is really probably right for you. Well, do you have something else? I do. Let me show you that. Or I've said, I don't, but I can tell you I have a competitor that I know that does have it for you. And I'm going to get you in touch with them.
And you know what that does? Well, of course you know what that does. It does this. You've demonstrated that you care about them more than you do the sale. You don't. It's not about the commission.
Yes,
that's a nice thing to get. But solving the problem, there's huge rewards in that.
Yep. As soon as you stop, the less you sell, the more you sell. Right? It's just really.
I want to go slow. The less you sell, the more you sell.
Yes. And when I say it has to be the quotes, the less you sell, the more you will sell, right?
Totally.
I love it. Just stop.
And
I know that's foreign to sales guys if they don't think about it, because my job is to sell. On the outside, of course it is. It's in your title, right? Sales guy, right? I get that. But you got to stop being this salesy seller and be the problem solver, be the friend, the confidant, the advisor. And the sale will come to you, not because you have to ask for it most of the time, but be something, there's nothing left but them to say, God, geez, Randy, I want to buy this from you. Let's go. What do we need to do next?
Yeah. So Alan's got some great wisdom here, and I agree with what he's saying. I teach something called the upside down triangle, and it's based on 40, 30, 20, 10. And the 40 is building rapport, trust, and likability. The 30 is really seeking to understand, pulling back the curtains, finding out what the issues are, if they have any, and what the opportunities to help serve them are. And then when you've done that, that's 70%. The next 20% is presenting your ideas that you've wanted to share with them and see if it's a fit. And when you get to so now we're at 90%. We haven't got a commitment on them yet, from them yet, but there's only 10% left. And what I find is if I've earned the right to do that, just like you said, they'll say, so can I get a truckload? Will you take a PO? Can we do it on Tuesday? That's them, not us.
Exactly.
We've earned the right, and they're asking us to serve them.
Exactly. And that's a great point Alan makes, because everybody, I figured out a long time ago too, and I know this has been said by other people, but everybody likes to buy. Nobody wants to be sold.
Correct.
We all like to buy stuff. And I know that I remember the old furniture store days. Not that I worked in a furniture store, but it drives me nuts. If you go into a furniture store, and some of them are worse than others, is that they attack you. I mean, literally, you don't get the door shut. And then they're following you. It's like, I might buy a couch if you just like walk away. I understand the helpful, the introduction. Hey, if I'm here, if you need me, but they would not leave you alone. And all they're doing is selling for commission. I need to sell you. Well, I may not need to buy your stupid couch, right? So just give me a minute. And see, we lose sight of the fact that I probably came into your store because I want to buy something. So stop selling me, assist me, advise me, be there when I need to be, but quit selling. And that's so I know that sounds weird to guys or gals that are not in the sales professional, and I say professionally for a long time, but just stop selling and you'll sell way more.
Absolutely. Totally agree with that. And what I like to do is help them make a decision that makes sense to them, that they're going to win with, so that when they're on the other side of it, they're not saying, oh yeah, look, I got sold this stuff. And you know what? I've been that guy. I bought stuff, and after it didn't work out or didn't live up to what I thought it was going to do based on, I've been sold. I haven't been assisted in the buying process.
Right.
We do like to buy.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I get excited when I make a decision that makes sense.
Yeah. And you feel good when you bought, and that's an important thing for repeat business.
Yeah.
It's important for referrals. If this experience with Phil, with Randy, with Kellen, with Alan, with Eric, everybody that's popped on just recently, if they go, this experience was freaking amazing. This was a good experience. They're going to tell everybody in the world, right? But if you got what you wanted, but it sucked, it was just nothing about this that I enjoy, you may not get repeat business, probably won't get repeat business, and you're for sure not going to get referrals, because
Oh, sorry. That
reminded me.
When I was selling new homes way back a bunch of decades ago, I was going to say years, but we'll say decades.
I like decades.
Decades, like 4 decades ago. And I knocked the idea out of my head. Oh, yeah, here it was. They did a study back then. I think the numbers are somewhat similar today, but maybe not. But out of about 182 people, if you do something wrong, they'll hear the person. If you upset somebody, a bad decision, they don't like the product, you were pressure or whatever it was, the experience was bad. The 182 people they knew, and this was before social media and the internet, because decades ago they didn't have that. And the word would get out. But if you did something right, maybe 2 or 3. So the doing things right, showing up and serving doesn't get as many listens, because 75% of the things that show up in our world are negative. We have this thing called the amygdala, and it's looking for that negative stuff. There's a psychologist, Sean Aker. He says that it's as high as 75%. So in order to shift that, we need to have, I'm looking at the ratio on my whiteboard, it's a 3-to-1 positive to every negative. So if 75% of the thoughts that others have are negative, we've got to do a lot of work to earn the right to get the referral and the good word out there. And on the internet with the social media, it's easier to get the bad word out there. So showing up and serving with, like you said, authenticity, being having empathy, those are really important things. And you're not going to get as many good reviews as you will get bad ones. So don't do anything to create bad ones.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Well said. It's it's an easier said than done again. But if you quit thinking about what you want and what they want, we said that before, but you're going to be relatively a novelty in a lot of cases, which is power to you, because so many salespeople still come in with that high-powered, I want to sell you, that if you come in there with a different approach, an advisor, a helper, a friend approach,
Mhm.
you just elevate yourself 1000x in their eyes because you're different. You've set yourself different than what they're used to seeing, and I think that's important too.
Absolutely.
And I know Eric just popped something up on there, Phil, but about transactional, I think that's a great subject. Exactly. See, that's just so spot on. Anything that becomes, I think, as sales guys and gals, I use guys interchangeably because I'm old.
Older.
Older, thank you. Seasoned, senior, but I don't order senior coffee because I still got a little bit of, I don't know, vanity. But no, I'll pay the full price. I don't want a senior. That's just early gray. But when you've got to not allow the sale to become transactional.
Mhm.
Because if it's transactional, as Eric, great point, we as salespeople and our manufacturers, our distributor, our companies that we work with or for, none of us ever win if it's transactional. Well, you win a sale today, but if it's transactional, you probably won the sale at a cost, which was less than margin maybe than what you should have had because it became transactional. But you don't have any referrals, you don't have any repeat, you may not have repeat business, because when it's transactional, that means that I got the sale today, right place, right time. May not get the one next week because another sales jockey wanders in with a little bit better price, because if it's only transactional, that's all that matters. And the friendship thing, I'm just going to buy from you unless you get way out of line. I'm just going to buy from you because you take care of us, you have a history of taking care of us, you care. And even if you get out of line, pricing a little bit, that's fair, but they'll tell you. They say, Randy, I don't want to leave you or anything, but boy, there's been a few of your competitors in, and you used to be right there. Things seem to have changed a little. Can we take a look at that? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe they have, right?
The other thing, in my role as a business coach, and we work with entrepreneurs and business owners, and often their strategy is and their customers, prospects are coming and asking for a discount. And if they are at that space, they haven't earned the right to be the choice for the solution, is where I'm going with my thinking.
Right.
And it becomes a race to who's out of business first, because they're competing on price. It's transactional. They've commodified it, and as opposed to put value to it. And so when you do that, you have to work extremely hard, long hours, more in the business and less on it. But when you get to the place where you can actually build a community of people that, just like you said, yeah, your price is a little bit high, but there's value here. And if it goes a little bit beyond where they think the market is, they'll give you an opportunity to do some course correction. If you're just doing it on transactional or a commodity basis, the only thing that differentiates you from anybody is dollars and cents.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're hearing, in my experience, if you're hearing dollars and cents conversation early on, you are not even in the race.
Exactly. When you work with a new customer, yes, so spot on, Phil. In the first 5 minutes into this thing, yeah, but what's your price? It's not going to matter, because this is probably not going to happen, right? Because I'm never going to be where you want, and I'm not going to go where you want, and I won't be where you want next time when it's lower yet. So it's probably, if that's the only thing they care about, it, because why do you care what my price is yet? I could be too high or too low because you don't even know what I have yet.
Yeah.
How can you make that decision? So that tells you, right, that it's only price. And it don't matter if I'm the best, I'm the worst, or I'm in between. I just want the best number. Well,
right.
if that's your game, then go for the kill, I guess, right? But that's not my game. And so I don't go there.
And we can't be the right solution for everybody, and not everybody's going to like us. I heard it one time. He said, if you have 50% of the people like you and 50% don't, that's great. You got 50% of the people you can serve, and they have the similar energy, similar core values. Those sort of things are way more fun. When I've gone to networking events or well, yeah, with a group of people. I says, what do you do, Phil? I said, well, I'm in the business of stopping this insanity for entrepreneurs and business owners. And some people go, okay, whatever. I don't have a conversation with. There's no sense. But those, what do you mean? Then I'll go into the narrative that goes with that. And then it's about helping them see. Well, I'll say, well, you're a business owner. And they go, yeah. And I'll say, well, have you ever been in a situation where you've got somebody who you think you can serve? You ask a bunch of questions and you find out you've got some solutions. You present those solutions to them. They go, that sounds pretty good. What? Then they go to the part where it's logical. What's the cost? And then you give them the dollars and cents. And they go, yeah, that's pretty good. Can I get it for 20 points less? And I asked the person I'm talking to, has that ever happened to you? They go, yes. I said, that's the craziness. I help people like you stop so that you can have the business that you would like to have and deal with the people you want to deal with and that want to deal with you. And then you're actually a professional versus a commodity seller.
Right on.
I want to share some information about you because you're amazing. So I'm going to bring it up here right now. I don't know. I'm looking over that monitor because I want it to be right. Oh, just hang on. Where did it go?
Do I have to pay extra for that prompt or what? Is that
I
a
think
freebie?
So. A little bit extra. A cup of
all right, just send me a bill.
Yeah, okay.
That's me right there.
I'm going to make this as big as I possibly can. We're going to disappear from the screen. There we go. But that's not good enough because that's really hard to read. So hang on. We'll bring up some supporting content, some text, some banners. As soon as I can find you, Randy, we're on your website. So here we go. ibuyfromrandy.com will get you to this website, right, Randy?
Right on.
And it says there, welcome to Source One Marketing. So anything to do with steel roofing. Oh, I say that wrong. It's roughing, right? Steel roughing.
Well, some parts of the world it probably is, yes.
And you do some other kind of stuff, post form building and
post frame, post frame buildings, steel roofing, equestrian products, little mixture of stuff in the building material world.
Yeah, and you've been in that world for just a little bit, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. I use 4+ decades because, as we talked earlier, again, a little vanity still creeps in. 4+ decades sounds maybe not quite as old as way over 40 years. So
right, yeah, okay. I'm going to bring it on there because I got this voice in the background. Who the hell's talking there? Anyway, it's Randy. He's the one who's doing all the talking there. And so if they wanted to find you, they could go there and check you out. There's a bunch of cool things. You got a list of products and resources. You got your contact information. It's all there. They can go find that at ibuyfromrandy.com. And then there's one other place we can go play around and hang out with. And that is, now I do have to look over here. And my mouse is deciding it doesn't want to play. It doesn't want to play. I have an issue. It keeps jumping back. Yeah, it's doing it again. Okay, so we can go here. So this is the LinkedIn profile. And we've got a message here. Let's get rid of that. How did that sneak in there?
Little devil.
There you are right there. And I'm going to try something. Let me try something. Settings. I don't know if this is going to work, my friend.
That's all right.
I'm going to try pushing this little button here because you'll speak.
I will. I forgot what I said. That's sounding really good. Except for there's no audio. I sound better. Hear it? No, can you? I can't.
Okay, well, hang on. Let's play around with this because this is raw. This is live. This is what we do.
This is what we do. And actually, I haven't done this for a while, so I should probably listen. Maybe I sound really like stupid or something. I don't know.
No, you don't sound. It sounded really good. So let me go get it so that we can do it. Stop sharing the screen, and then I'm going to restart. Present. Share the screen. Video file. Hang on. I'm wondering if there share the system audio. That's what
look at that. You knew you'd find it sooner or later.
Eventually I found it.
You can't fool Phil
for long.
Well,
I'm getting a tip here. Pro tip, be careful sharing whatever. Okay, here. I'm going to try this again.
All
Ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you can hear it this time, Randy.
Hey, my friends, it's Randy Chaffee, Source One Marketing, ibuyfromrandy.com, and also your host of a weekly podcast, Building Wins Live. I would love to see if there's any opportunities to connect with you and see how we could help each other. I have been in the post frame, metal frame building, metal roofing, and steep slope industry for 4+ decades. I believe I bring some things to the table I might be able to help you with. Love to chat, love to connect, love to see if we can do some stuff together. Cheers.
Well, did you hear that time?
I heard that.
Okay, good. You said push the right buttons. Put the
Push the
check
right
mark in
buttons.
the right-
Amazing. Always works when you push the right buttons.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for all this. And I'll tell you one, the website's under some reconstruction right now. We are adding my podcast on there and some kind of a thumbnail or thumbtack or whatever they call that stuff. So it'll be right there on the homepage so that you can find my Building Wins Live podcast. Also going to have all my social media platforms there on the website too, so that anything that apparently my magical website people can make that automatically happen. So I post something on LinkedIn, apparently it'll like within minutes be there on my website. So I don't ask about things I don't know like that because I get in trouble. It's like a little magician. If it works, I'm happy. So,
well, here's a kind word from the pizza guy himself.
Wow. That's and he's got pineapple on that pizza. I know he does.
That's
even
crazy.
he's not.
Who would put pineapple on pizza?
I would. That is how Bam and I first met. Was on Gitmer's 959 thing that he was doing for forever there.
Yeah.
He started busting my chops over a comment I made about pineapple on pizza, and then next thing he knows, he's reaching out, and there's this weird Bam guy calling me, and thanks, Kellen. I think pineapple should be on pizza. I will order extra pineapple, Eric Bam.
There, he's got real full-size pizza.
I like that.
Pineapples.
I like that.
So
save the pepperoni and just put all pineapple.
There you go. No ham, no, just pineapple.
Just pineapple.
Why don't you just have never mind.
I just have a pineapple.
So if I was to ask you, what's one thing that you would offer up to people that are in this sales profession and want to be seen as a trusted advisor, what's an idea that you would want to share with them?
Well, we it's a great question. I think we've done a great job the last 30, 40 minutes of touching on that, but forget what you think you've learned about being a sales pro and understand that being a professional is just that. You've got to come in caring about your customer. The title of your show today was perfect. Care about your customer. It's them first. It's always you second. That doesn't mean you give away the farm. You don't care about what you do. I'm just saying you've got to develop a relationship first, trust first, and then relationship. I've had this conversation a few times with people, trust versus relationship, which comes first. It took me a while to figure out that I think trust does come first because that's instantaneous, right? That's on the first literal text you make. You're starting to develop some trust. You build the relationship over time, but build trust, build relationships, do what you say you'll do, and just become a trusted, friendly advisor, not a sales guy. And we've said it 2 or 3 times, but my parting words on that was I've sold more in my life since I stopped selling. Right. I just have. I don't sell anybody anything. I almost hate the word sales rep, which is sort of the manufacturer's rep, sales rep, whatever. I don't even like the word because yes, the ultimate goal is to sell you something. That's what I do. That's how I get paid. But it's got to be right. And it's got to be right for both of us.
I think the ultimate thing you do is you identify a problem, recognize the solution, present it, and if it's a fit, they'll take it.
Exactly. And so if it's not a fit,
we're professional problem solvers.
Exactly. And to that point, if it's not the right fit for them, but we force that fit, it won't be long term, right?
Yes. And then the negative feedback, the word of mouth will go
exactly
for you. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Kellen's true. Wearing cool socks is that's my 10% extra. That's my 10x factor right there. It's the cool socks. If I think they're getting hesitant, I just somehow manage to pull my pant leg up so they see my socks. But you don't want to do it the wrong way because it might come across as slightly weird.
Randy, this has been a slice of not pizza, but it's been a slice of life. And thanks for popping in and making time for our show today. And
anytime, my friend.
Your wisdom. You're a sage, my friend. Yeah. So I'm going to wrap up the show and wrap up the show. I'm just thinking of all the nuggets that you shared. So bear with me as I come back, everybody. So I don't know if you got energized, and I guess if it's okay to eat pineapple, but the key is what Randy said, is to show up, be authentic. Don't be a pitcher, be a solution provider, and you'll have more business, because really selling, it's not about you. It's really about showing up and helping other people. What I would like to do right now is just finish sharing something that I really want you to consider, is to be your wonderful self. You in wonderful is you, big like that on purpose, because you are unique. There's only one you. Like Randy said, he shows up as the best Randy he can be, and that served him well over decades. So I encourage you to do the same thing. Until next time, I'm Coach Phil, and that's a wrap.
I get shit done. I have fun. My time.